call this beat Will Smith, cause it slaps hard. Hear it not when I pull up on your boulevard.
Should you consider giving up alcohol to better your dating life? Let's talk about it in today's Just Chat. So, obviously, I'm not going to make a judgment call. I think if you like having the occasional drink here and there, going to bars and doing whatever, that you're in your right to do that. I just want to talk about something you may have not considered, which is that when you are drinking, it can be greatly affecting your ability to make smart dating decisions. And that goes from everything to the women that you're choosing to date, to more importantly, the kinds of actions you're doing in an attempt to attract this woman or to reprimand this woman, rather, that could result in you actually losing out on women. Now, I myself am not a big drinker. I didn't start drinking till I was the legal age of 21. And even then, I'd rather get a juice over like alcohol almost any day. But that said, I'm a fan of like we'll say the fruitier drinks, the margaritas, anything that's like a mixed drink with a chaser in it. Like, I'm a fan, right? But if you start to observe that the things you put into your body actually have an effect on the way that you're presenting yourself to the world, you will actually start to change up your diet a bit and get rid of certain things. I know, for example, when I eat a lot of beef, I tend to get very tired, I get moody, and I get cranky. So as a result of that, I don't tend to eat a lot of beef stuff these days. I save it for like, every once in a while I'll cook out here and there, and I'll have like maybe 4 ounces of it, and that's it, right? So when I first had alcohol for the first time, it was a strawberry daiquiri. And on the way home, I noticed that aside from feeling a little bit dizzy, that I was having a little bit of a headache and I was starting to feel cranky. Like I didn't want to be around people. And I'm already an introvert. It's already a problem, right? But I was starting to feel a little bit cranky. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. But, I still would have the occasional drink here and there. And even now that I'm 41, I will still at times, like maybe like every month and a half or so, maybe have like a glass of something, right? But what I noticed also is that when I was trying to drink things here and there, that it affected my mood and it affected the way that I would be around the woman that I was with. So I could be in a great relationship, having a good time, and I would like have a glass of something at dinner. And then towards the end of the night, I could feel myself starting to get moody and starting to get like more of a desire to not be around that person anymore. So obviously, that's not a good thing if you're trying to build a relationship. But more importantly, I've also noticed in the process of doing this job and helping men out, just how often men make bad decisions that they would have normally probably not done had they not been drinking. For example, I get a lot of messages from guys that go something like this. I was feeling some kind of way about something. Like I was dating this girl and then she went to go hang out with her friends and I really wanted to see her, but she wanted to hang out with her friends instead. And so I was a little bit tipsy, and next thing I know, I'm texting her this long message about how she, skipped out on me and how I missed her and how she shouldn't have made that decision and blah, blah, blah. Or something like, well, me and my girl were, we were out and about doing some stuff and we had gotten a little bit drunk. And next thing I know, I'm saying something or doing something that gets her upset. And then I'm yelling at her and blah, blah, blah. So what I've noticed is that I don't know if these guys are aware that like the whole idea of like, oh, I can drink and be totally fine and handle my alcohol, whatever, that it really does end up showing itself out to be not true when they are in these situations where they're dealing with women and, they're not able to control what they're saying or doing in part because they have alcohol to blame. Blame it on the alcohol, right? And this is the thing, right? Again, there's no judgment about if you like drinking, if you enjoy having the occasional glass here or there. But as a man, you have more power in your relationships and in your dating life if you are in complete and total control of what you're doing, what you're saying, and how you're acting. And when you drink alcohol, it goes to the part of the brain that, in terms of you making decisions, it's going to alter what you think is a good idea. So if you are a sober guy, for example, let's say your girl, you text your girl and she didn't contact you back like right away. Well, if you were in a more sober state, you might just say, she's at work, she's with the girlfriends, or I know we had a little fight last night, she might need time to cool off, and you would just leave it alone, right? Then you get that alcohol. and you start feeling a little saucy, and now you're in your feels. Now you're suddenly thinking about the fact that she hasn't talked to you in almost an hour and something must be up. And then it starts playing again in your insecurities like, oh, she's probably out seeing some other dude, or why did she not want to see me? She saw me for 3 days in a row and now she doesn't want to see me or talk to me. Like, what's going on? And now you done drank that alcohol. You've had 2 or 3 glasses, and now you're like, I'm gonna text her and let her know exactly how I feel. And now she needs to stop playing games. I see it happen time and time again. And again, a lot of this boils down to you're drinking. So, am I saying you should never drink? Well, like I said, I've never really been a big drinker in the first place, but when I do, it's like very sporadic. It's like I said, once every maybe a month and a half. And again, if they have a good mocktail, I'll go for the mocktail. But I find I personally like being in control of my thoughts, of my feelings. I like knowing that I don't have a substance in me that's altering how I would normally react to things. And the women that when I'm dating, they appreciate the fact that I have a good head on my shoulders. Now, I also get the point that a lot of guys feel peer pressured into having a drink. Like, obviously a big thing with dating for their first date is like, oh, let's go out and get some drinks and chat. And you know what this actually does? It actually trains you. Sorry, I got to get something out of the eye. It actually trains you to not understand how to have a good time without alcohol. And it trains you to believe that you need to have alcohol in you in order to be a better conversator on dates, or to have a good time on dates and not be as nervous. And here's the truth, is that if you are going on dates regularly and you're always drinking when you go on dates, then you're training yourself to only get comfortable when you're drinking. And that's not a place you actually want to be, because in your day-to-day relationships, let's say you get into an argument with a girl and you're trying to calm yourself down. Well, now you're going to think, oh, I know what calms me down, alcohol. And then you're not going to be aware that alcohol is actually going to cause you to make the fight worse by saying or doing other things that aren't going to be to the benefit of her feelings and your relationship in general. So it actually behooves you to get into the practice of being able to go out there and talk to women and go on dates where you're not drinking. Now, I know you're thinking, but what if I take a woman out to like a dinner or something like that, and she's drinking and she sees that I'm not drinking and she feels some kind of way about that? Well, ultimately, guy, you're the guy. And you already need to be practicing not letting what women do affect how you operate in your world. I've been on plenty of dates where the woman orders something to drink and I'm like, you know what? I'm not feeling a drink right now. I'm just going to get like a soda or get a mocktail, but you get what you want. I don't put any judgments on them because I don't want them to feel weird or that I'm judging them for drinking, just like I don't want them to judge me for not drinking. But as a man, you do the things you want to do. If you decide you want to go completely dry and never drink again, then that's what you do. If the woman you're with feels some kind of way about that, that's all about her. That is not about you. But it's more important, in my opinion, for you to have a handle on your thoughts and feelings and how you're moving than about if you're going to please her or not because you decided not to get a drink. So if this means you don't ask women out to go to get drinks anymore, then just don't do that. Like, women are trying to follow your program in the first place. So if you guys that are worried like, oh, well, I usually invite women on for drinks on the first date, just stop doing that. Just invite her to do putt-putt golf or invite her to just get a meal or a snack. Like, again, you don't have to add alcohol to these dates. But more importantly is that you need to be a guy that has a head on his shoulders, that can think straight, that can talk straight to women, and know that you're not going to be using alcohol as a crutch. Because when you use it as a crutch, it's not actually helping you. Like you guys that are like, I drank it, then I texted her, or I drank it, then I said this thing that I didn't mean it, or I drank it, then I did this prank on her, and I didn't know it was going to hurt her feelings. You didn't know because you were out of the framework of being able to make good judgments because you were drinking. So I just wanted to put that out there because I feel like ultimately you as a guy, you should be able to better build your dating skills up without using alcohol as a means to do that. Now, obviously, if you get rid of alcohol and you're like, oh my God, I realize I really am anxious and nervous around women and I don't know what to say, you can go to introvertdatingsuccess.com. I can help you figure out a plan of action to be able to get better at communicating and texting women and all these other things without the crutch of alcohol being involved. All right. So hopefully, guys, this helps you out. Thanks for watching. And I will catch you guys on the next episode of Couch Chat. Be sure to go to the website if you need coaching. Also with it for eBooks, audiobooks, and other programs that'll help you date as your introverted self while still getting your alone time. Be sure to subscribe to this channel and like this video, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.
You's a bad boy, but you can't stop, won't stop. You a high-earning, high-value, high-class man. You a high-earning, high-value, high-class man. You a high-earning, high-value, high-class man. You a high-class man. You a high-class man. You a high-earning, high-value, high-class man. You You a high